Level 989.
Welcome to a 989 on Health Extra. These quick supplements should help ease any withdrawal symptoms you may experience while waiting for our next full episode. So, Mike, what's on today's agenda?
We've received another great topic request from a listener. This week's question is, I burn a lot of incense every day. Isn't that bad for me? Like secondhand smoke from cigarettes? So, first of all, what is incense? Well, there's a surprisingly wide variation in the shapes, styles, and formulations of incense. Thousands of them, in fact. But in its most basic form, it's a mixture that produces fragrant smoke when burned. Cultures all over the world have a long history of burning incense, often in religious ceremonies. And many of these traditions continue to the present day, but there are numerous non-religious uses of incense as well. For example, I have 2 cats, and I've found that some daily incense used here at home does help eliminate pet odors. If you're curious, I enjoy a flavor called Nag Champa, which is a mixture of sandalwood and plumeria, which I'm very fond of. I've been using it for years, and at this point, it's just the smell of home in my mind. Sandalwood and cat pee. Yep, that's home. And what is smoke? Smoke is a cocktail of airborne particles and gases released when something is burning, and the chemical makeup of the smoke will differ based on what's burning. The smoke is going to be teeny pieces of the object that is burning that were only partially burned, as well as airborne ash particles, carbon monoxide, benzene, toxic metals, and more. None of these are things you want in your lungs. And while carbon monoxide is bad, some of the very fine particles in the smoke are so tiny they can work their way into the deepest, tiniest structures of your lungs, the alveoli, which are vital to getting oxygen into your blood. And you don't need these mucked up with airborne particles. Anyone who's tried to clean a grill or a fireplace knows how hard it is to clean up ashes. They're so fine that even while completely dry, ash almost behaves like a liquid in that it smears when you try to clean it up. Now imagine that in your lungs. But wait, smoke in the home environment has been the norm for humans for the past, brace yourself for a big number, for at least the past 600,000 years or so. We've had some embers burning in the campfire, the fireplace, or stove. We've burned animal dung, peat, wood, coal, olive and other plant oils, whale oil, wax and tallow candles, kerosene, and many other substances for heating, cooking, or to keep the dark night at bay. It's only with the invention of the electric light in the early 20th century we've been able to eliminate most sources of smoke from our homes. So aren't we evolved to deal with it? Aren't we adapted to it? No, we are not. So what kind of harm does secondhand smoke from cigarettes really cause? Well, it seems that the official term for secondhand smoke is passive smoking. So a passive smoker faces the same dangers as the active smoker, which is an increased risk for many different cancers, from the quite logical lung cancer to the more surprising leukemia and cancer of the bladder and cervix. Other risks of passive smoking include increased risk of dementia, diabetes, depression, stillborn children, an increase in asthma and allergies, and many more. Alright, so far the impacts have been largely lung-related, but there can be other issues as well. According to the NCBI, that's the National Center for Biotechnology Information, incense burning smoke has also been associated with skin problems. A patient who had practiced incense ceremony for about 15 years was found to have itchy, depigmented patches on his hands, shoulder, and abdomen. Testing revealed that the perfume in the incense was the cause. It was suggested that the perfume and airborne particles from the burning incense contacted the skin and caused the allergic contact dermatitis, accompanied by depigmentation. Just as there are many styles of incense, there are sticks, cones, coils, powders, rope, rocks, and smudge bundles. These are produced in a wide array of countries around the world, all with very different quality control standards. Some are going to be quite strict, while others are going to be almost non-existent. Just something to keep in mind. When you think about incense, it's something of a strange household item. It seems so simple, but most substances don't just slowly smolder for about 20 minutes until they finally burn themselves out. So think about what form of chemical accelerant is used to keep it burning. Which fragrances are used? Are these artificial or natural fragrances? If they're natural, were there pesticides used on the plants? But which pesticides? What about anti-clumping agents or chemicals to help repel moisture? Again, from the NCBI, the effect of incense smoke on health and the mechanism behind it needs to be further studied in animal models. Meanwhile, it's a good practice to keep the room well ventilated when burning incense. It will effectively dilute indoor air pollutants and hence reduce the risk of exposure. I think that going forward, I will myself be burning less incense. I'll probably still use it every day, but maybe a quick walk around the house with a smoldering stick, maybe spending 30 seconds in each room, will accomplish much of the same goal with a lot less indoor air pollution than burning a full stick. And hey, I could open a window. What a concept. Thanks again to our great listeners for sending in suggestions. And if you'd like to send in your own topic for consideration, head on over to level989.com/contact and make it so.
That's all for now. You can find links to read more about today's topics at level989.com. Why not take a moment to rate or review us in iTunes, or give us a mention on social media? We can't help everyone if they don't know we exist. Don't rely on us as an alternative to medical advice from a professional healthcare provider. For the full disclaimer, please see our website. Thanks for listening, and now, go health yourself.